when I was asked to do the gig, like no question, it's right on surface, is when I was asked to play that gig, when I got that call and I practiced and then would sleep 3 hours and get up and practice. My kid was 8 years old at the time. And he was watching me do that. And I can tell you how proud I am because it makes me want to cry. He came in my bedroom the day after I did that song Burst in Delirium with him, where I went to my first rehearsal and I played, and he came in the room. He woke up early. He came in and woke me up. And he shook me. He goes, "What happened?" I just put thumbs up, and he put his hand out for a high five, and we high fived. And so that's my proudest thing.
That's
by far. And because he learned so much by watching that happen, that he has that in him now, where he knows that he can do anything he wants. You can do anything you want. You just have to work for it, right? You have to work for it. You can't expect it to be given to you. You have to work. And if you put in the work, more likely it's going to happen, right? Like, so
he's got those master manifester dreams that
he's the only kid
have,
in his whole high school that got into U of T, like, and he's in a very tough program and he's excelling. And he's also a scooter kid, like a skate park kid, and it's off the charts how amazing he is. Like, it's
nice.
And
kids don't do what you say, they do what you do. So him seeing you go for your dreams is a big deal.
So that's it. And we did I posted a new picture that my wife took as my Facebook, on the Chuck Dailey Facebook, on the, I don't know what you call it, but it's on the top of your header, I guess.
The banner.
And yeah, the banner. And it's a picture that my wife took of both of my boys watching me play at Edgefest. And so that's, I think you might have been at that show, but they're, it's the coolest picture because it's like this perfectly framed, both of their heads just watching me, or watching the crowd. They love watching mosh pits. But they came to, I remember them coming to Oshawa when we were touring with Our Lady Peace and the Standstills. And Oshawa was completely sold out, the arena there in Oshawa. I can't remember what it's called, Pepsi Center or something. But it was amazing. Like, you do stadiums, you sell out, and then if there's more tickets, you start moving the stage back. You open up more floor seats, and you try to squeeze the stage as far back as possible, right? And that's what we did there. So that was one of our biggest selling shows, and it was 3 levels, like tiny little people, and they got to stand right in front of me, right? And watching them and playing and watching them just look around, and knowing that they watched what I had to do to get that, that's what makes me proud. And also those moments when I hear something that's like out of this world coming from like stage right or coming from behind me, and I look over and I see Jag, and I remember, like, and then I see that guy that I used to go see in concert at Lee's Palace or the Cool House, or I see that I'm completely removed for a second. That happens on stage, which is remarkable, where I'm completely removed and all my hair stands up and I have to swallow my heart because I'm like, oh, this just happened, right? Like, here I am, like, and yeah. So that's
with a rock star for a father. Do your kids think you're cool, or are you just another schmuck in the household?
No, they don't think I'm cool. No, rock guys aren't cool. If I was inventing technology, yeah, like, kids don't line up for records or concert tickets anymore. People, they line up at the Apple store, right? Like, it's like,
unless you started playing bass for Justin Bieber or something. Actually, your kids are too old maybe for that.
I've asked Justin Bieber many times, and because I know his guitar player, so I've like put it out to them so many times. And that's, you know, you're a guy about getting, you know, what drives you and how do you get those things and how do you get there and what is it that gets you there, and that's what it is. It's like, it's just being fearless. Like, and I can tell you, in real estate, it makes people crazy. A lot of people get pissed off because I do it constantly, but it's like just constantly asking, hey, come work with me, it's going to be fun. Hey, Justin, I want to play in your band, I want to do this, I want to do this, I need to play with you, and you need to play with me, right? Like, it just, relentless. I have never got that gig, but maybe it'll happen after. Maybe he'll hear this podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will be the bridge. Yeah, most people don't get what they want because they just don't ask. It's that
They
simple.
just don't ask. That's it.
Absolutely.
The best lesson I ever learned was from my wife. And when I met her, she was very religious at the time, and I think it's taken from the Bible. But she said, "I'm not very religious, but it's the line is ask and you will receive." Right? That's a line.
You have not because you ask not.
Yeah, that's a line in that book. Ask and you will receive. And yeah, you're right in that other part of that. And that's the best lesson I ever learned, because that's what paid for Dan Broadbeck. That's what paid for, and it was people asking me to play shows for the salads, and finally doing what she said. Well, it's going to cost you $5,000. Right? It's like, before that, it was like, oh, sure, $100. Yeah. Oh, some nacho chips and some water. Sure, we're there. Right? Like, and she said, you have to ask. It's ask and you will receive. Right? And sure enough, $5,000, I'd land at 3. Like at $10,000, I'd land at 7. Right? Like, and it's ask and you will receive.
If we created a time machine where you could go back in time and you could sit down next to 10-year-old Chuck Dailey, what advice would you give to your younger self with all the years of experience and challenges and mentorship and lessons and training and all that stuff? What is the best advice that you could give to your younger self?
Don't listen to Al Lalonde, Chuck, your guitar teacher, because Eruption by Eddie Van Halen is not a trick. He plays that, and you can play that too.
That is the most rock and roll answer I've had in 32 episodes.
I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think it was possible because of what Al Lalonde told me. And if someone at that age, I was about 10 years old, had told me, oh no, that's possible. You can play that. If he can play that, you can play that, because that's how I teach. If that guy can do it, so can you, right? Like, there's no reason, you're human. You have a guitar in your hand, all right? Like, and so is he. So it's, or so
don't
is she.
set those limitations.
Yeah. So I was held down when I was little. And I feel like if I was actually given an opportunity to explore that I would be a way, way better musician. So
there you go.
That's the advice I wish someone had given me. I wish someone had given me the advice that I give everybody, which is you can do it. Right. So.
Well, that's amazing that, you figured out that lesson, and then you're able to make your little dent in the universe by being different and giving current 10-year-olds what you didn't get when you were 10.
Oh yeah. I say it a lot. Yeah. I do it all the time. For sure. That's how I treat real estate clients. Like, so many people feel like it's not possible because they're first time buyers, or they're they have a very limited budget. It's like, no, it's possible. We'll make it happen. We'll figure it out. Right. And it always is. It always is. So far in my experience, it always is. Right. So.
All right. Well, Chuck, thank you for your time. 2 hours. I mean, I stood in line at 14 for an autograph. So this,
I think that's so beautiful. I love
for
that
me
so
to
much.
be able to sit down with you for 2 hours, and this is supposed to be for my audience, but really it's just me picking the brain of someone I'm a fan of, right?
That idea for me is really special too, Joel. I'm a fan of you being there. Like, it's so wicked. It's so cool that it's like hung on and stuck with you, and that you're here doing this with me today. Like, it's like, wow. Like, I'm a fan of you standing in that line. Like, it's like, I want your autograph. Like, wow, look what you did. It's
amazing.
It's too cool. I love that that's what brought us together.